welcome to my channel. Today we are talking everything second trimester. What to expect during your second trimester, how you can fit fitness into your pregnancy, and a couple of moves that we can incorporate into our workouts. So in terms of things of what you can expect to see during the second trimester, there's going to be a shift from some of the symptoms that you had in your first trimester coming into your second. You're hitting the honeymoon phase, so a lot of the things that you might have experienced in your first, such as nausea and fatigue, those things might take a miss and they might vanish away for you. So in relation to the first 2 points, we're going to break it down into 9 quick, easy tips for you that you can follow along throughout your pregnancy. The first thing we're going to talk about today is nausea and fatigue. Those two awful words normally associate heavily with the first trimester. So luckily for a number of people, those two factors should decrease going into your second trimester. Now, what does that mean for you? Well, if you have had those two, you know how it can limit your exercise capability, your wish and your desire to work out. So having those factors eradicated or at least reduced can really help you to motivate you to get back into some form of fitness. So number 2, for a number of people, you can start to increase the volume and the intensity of your training. This is regardless of the type of modality that you have picked in terms of your fitness. Whatever exercise you did pre-pregnancy, you will be able to start increasing the volume and intensity going into your second trimester. One quick thing to point out is that you should never start an exercise program if you've never been active pre-pregnancy, but there are certain things that you can do that you probably never thought about. So if you've done things like walking or swimming previously, and you don't necessarily see them as a form of exercise, actually walking is one of the best ways that you can keep active and healthy during your pregnancy. So you can definitely increase the volume that you're doing. So if you're going from doing 10 minutes a day, you can build that up. Or if you want to increase the intensity, you can increase the speed in which you're walking. In terms of structured exercise sessions, and personally I went from doing 1 to 2 sessions to big overstatement, that would be once in a blue moon during the first trimester, but you can increase that during your second trimester. So I went from 1 to 2, as I said, up to about 5 workouts that I'm doing now. It wasn't a quick transition, so you need to make sure that you're increasing it gradually. Remember, there is a big period of the second trimester, and once you're in the second trimester into the third, you can exercise throughout those trimesters as long as it's safe to do so and you're cleared by your physician and you feel capable of doing it. So building it up gradually is much better than going full pelt, trying to do 5 workouts for an hour at a time straight away after feeling sick and tired for 12 weeks. So number 3 is the amount of exercise. Now, they do recommend that you still do 150 minutes of aerobic exercise throughout your pregnancy. So 150 minutes equates to 5 30-minute sessions a week. 30 minutes should be brisk walking. If you're doing Zumba sessions, obviously we know they go for longer than 30 minutes, so you might do a couple of sessions of those a week and you might take up something at home. For myself, I'm doing 30-minute sessions 5 times a week of circuit training with light weights, which I've incorporated slowly back into my workouts. Similar to the idea that you don't go from 1 session to 5 sessions in the space of a week. I wouldn't go from doing no weights to weighted sessions every single session of my training. So number 4 is exercise limitations. Now, this is not something negative, it's just ways in which to keep you safe during your exercise sessions. One of them being how to monitor your volume that you're doing. So in terms of volume, when you think of the duration of your session, you want to really limit the session to no more than 60 minutes. So anything between 30 to 60 minutes is seen as an ideal session, but I would say that the 60-minute is the upper boundary of the safe limit in which you want to exercise. The idea behind this is you want to reduce the likelihood of hypoglycemia, so that's your low blood sugar levels. Remember, when you're exercising, you are using your fuel stores in order to allow yourself to do this exercise. So you want to make sure that you don't work out for too long a period in which you end up taking all those stores away from you. When you can feel quite low, you could be more likely and more susceptible to fainting and to just feeling shaky and not feeling very good from your session. Remember, you've got to really protect the baby that's growing. The baby's not fueling itself, it's taking everything from you. So you want to keep yourself and your baby safe. Number 5 is the number of sessions that you want to do a week. You can work up to 7 days a week, but think about the intensity that you're going to apply if you're going to work out every single day of the week. I personally don't recommend working out 7 days a week on one single type of exercise. So for example, if I was to do circuit training or weight training, I wouldn't weight train for 7 days of the week, because you're going to exhaust all those muscle groups very quickly and you're not going to allow your body to actually recover from those sessions, and it's not going to help you in the long term. What you can do is that you switch up your exercise modality. Number 6 is about the intensity at which you work out. When I talk about the intensity, so we're talking about how hard in terms of it might be a single exercise, it might be across the whole session. When you are working out, you can say a sentence to someone, but you can't necessarily sing to someone. Not that anyone would want to ever hear me sing, but I know that I can say a few words to someone during my workout and it's comfortable to do so, but I can't sing to someone because then I'm not working at a high enough intensity. But at the other end of the scale, I'm not working out where I can't breathe, I can't focus, and I'm trying to struggle to get words out. Number 7 is safety again, and we're talking about heat and humidity for this one. I would strongly suggest that if you do work out somewhere where it's really hot, that you either work out to a lower intensity or that you work out somewhere where there is air conditioning. You don't want to be dehydrated during your session. You want to make sure that you're not overheating during the session. If you're working out in the cold, layer up, but allow yourself to have layers that you can remove as you work out. So think about the type of clothing you're going to wear. You want things that you can move about in. Number 8 is food. Now for food, I would suggest that you either choose to have a snack before or after, or both, depending on how you feel during the session or knowing what the session is going to be like. If you are doing a high intensity session, I would definitely suggest a pre and a post snack. Remember, we are not trying to find any sort of aesthetic goal. This is truly maintenance. So having a healthy snack before, like a banana to fuel your workout, and then having something healthy after, like some toast, some oats, some cereal, to replenish those stores is very beneficial for you, but also beneficial for your baby. But healthy eating doesn't necessarily mean avoiding every single thing that you particularly like. It's just incorporating healthy options for the majority and then having the things that you like as and when. So my last number 9 tip links again to food, but it's particular minerals that really will help you during your pregnancy. One of them being calcium, because obviously your baby's bones are developing and growing, but as you grow as well, you're putting more strain on your bones and joints, so having extra calcium will help those bones. And the other food source to really focus on is iron. So whether that's through your red meats, whether it's through your leafy greens, think about iron-rich foods. Your red blood cells really need that extra iron and your body needs that to support you. Those are my 9 tips. Now we're going to quickly talk about some of the exercises that you can do during your pregnancy and how they can help you throughout. Now I'm going to show you my belly at the moment. I'm 24 weeks pregnant. What you will notice is as this belly grows, several factors surrounding the belly will also change, which we need to support. Now one of them is the chest area. So this isn't just due to your belly growing, but actually to your boobs growing. So we know that as we go through pregnancy that our breasts are going to increase in size because they're getting ready with the supply of milk to feed your baby. But what might happen is as your boobs grow, because they're growing quickly in a short space of time, is that you will find that your shoulders will end up becoming rounded because the weight of your breasts are actually pulling you down. So exercises you can do to help balance out this issue that's going to arise is to really focus on chest opening exercises. So you may wish to use a resistance band and do some like lat squeezes. You might do chest presses. There are a number of different exercises that you can do that will not only work the pectoral region to strengthen this area, but also if you work on your upper back to strengthen those muscles, they can help support these muscles that may be becoming tight. Stretching is really key, so you can do things such as shoulder packing. So you may want to do a wall stretch where you place your hand, your forearm at a 90-degree angle to the wall. You can do this sitting or standing. You face forward and then you make a slight lean away from the wall. So you can see I'm looking towards the camera now. So obviously the benefits to that are really going to help to loosen up those tight muscles, particularly around this region. But another area to work on is the core. Now with working on the core, you've got to be so careful with this because during your pregnancy, diastasis recti will occur, okay? To whatever degree is dependent on a number of different factors, but we don't want to start doing crazy exercises. So we're not going to be trying to put too much pressure on it. Now you're probably thinking, well, what exercises can I do? Because it makes you sound like you can't do anything. The best thing to do is your TVA activation. So the first thing you're going to do is inhale. As you inhale, you're going to let the belly expand. So as you exhale, you're going to imagine that you're cuddling your baby and you grab the baby under and then pull it up. And what you'll see is this. We inhale first. And as you notice, that belly does decrease in size. You've contracted those deep core muscles, you've supported your baby and you've supported your belly, and you're actually keeping those muscles stronger than if you were to do that at all. Other things you can do, if you imagine your core is based of a box, and at the bottom of the box is that pelvic floor, and how important it is to keep that pelvic floor strengthened. One way that you can do that is through your Kegels. Kegels are the weirdest thing to try and do, but once you get the hang of them, they are so beneficial, and they do get easier to try and do. What I imagine is when I'm doing my Kegels is that I'm trying to hold in urine, which again sounds a bit horrible. Pelvic floor is like a clock, and you've got the 12, your 6 by your posterior chain, you've got 3 and 9 on your sides here. Now as you contract, so as you imagine holding in that urine, what you're going to do is you're going to draw in at 12 and 6 and in at 3 and 9. And you should feel that pelvic floor lifting up, which I'm doing right now. So you can do it any way you want, and no one's going to notice it. When you're starting off, do it somewhere maybe a bit more private, because you've got to get used to the motion of it. So the other thing to focus on is low back pain. Now obviously as this bit grows, it's going to create more of a forward tilt, and this can actually lead to an arching of the back, and you get what's known as anterior pelvic tilt, which is where all these muscles are tight and these ones are really loose. So you want to really focus the whole time on your pregnancy that you are keeping your back nice and straight, that you are strengthening those back muscles. There are ways that you can do this, so you can do pelvic tilts. So I've got a nice arch in my low back, and then I rock to flatten my back to the floor, and then I rock it back up. I've got a nice, I can fit my whole hand underneath there, and then I rock it back, and I try and flatten as much as possible. Just remember with pelvic tilts, you're not going to do this for too long. Supine exercises, you want to limit the amount of time that you are laying down on the floor. So the other thing you can do is side lying clamshells. This helps with your glute region, and the glute regions help to stabilise, again, this whole pelvic region. So it's all about supporting, stabilising and strengthening throughout pregnancy. They're the real things that you want to focus on. So that's a lot of things that we can cover during second trimester. If you have any questions related to fitness and related to pregnancy, so I can help you out if you want to think about a certain workout that you're planning on doing, is there certain exercises that you think, I'm not sure if this is a good one to do, what would you recommend? Please put them in the sections below, or give me a private message and I will be sure to help you out. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe to this channel, you'll be getting more workouts for pregnancy obviously in the coming weeks, but I also then help you through the postpartum journey when I get to that section as well. So we will be able to go through the journey together. If you haven't, ring the notification bell so that you know when we've got the next workout coming out. I really look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye for now.